Hi guys, welcome back to the Funky Evolution Party. I'm Alice Green. So I thought that I would get in on this East London ghettos. The world, UK London is being run by Islamic extremists. It's a load of BS. I can safely say that I've lived in Tower Hamlets for 15 years. I still build community gardens in Tower Hamlets, and it is one of the best boroughs in England. Now, it is known as the third most deprived borough, therefore it gets a lot of funding, and I'm going to take you guys through a brief history of East London so you understand who the terrorists actually are, and it is not the people, it is not the influx of migration, it is not Sadiq Khan being, you know, it's I predicted this. I said before when all of this conflict started that, it was the same thing as everyone claiming that the mayor of London was a terrorist and that they were going to start blowing up London. Now, they're not physically blowing up London with bombs, but they are doing it in politics. And this is very important because we will not win on a social scale if we continue to point the finger, you're this, you're that. Actually, Sadiq Khan is not an Islamic extremist in the pocket in bed with, because if he was, he wouldn't be opening up female spaces to men in the transgender movement, and he wouldn't be, pushing a lot of things, which he has been doing. He is about money. I don't agree that he is the best person to run London as a city, but it is what it is, and this is going to give you a bit of an insight into the corruption of why we are in such a pickle, why society is such a mess, and how we as a global community, because it's not just East London, this happens on every doorstep in every country in the world, where we think, oh, actually people are scared of them, so let's create even more fear and generate this hate so people are scared of each other. And this is not how strong, safe communities are built. And now I can tell you how strong, safe communities are built because I've been doing it since 2009. I have won the best community gardens in Tower Hamlets since 2009. Tower Hamlets as a borough actually comes first every year in London for its green spaces. It also has come second in the entire country for the last few years. So this dangerous no-go zone, is it because there's so many trees and biodiverse systems going on? Is it that East Londoners used to be the strongest communities that looked after their gardens and doorsteps? And then in the 80s, and this is the bit of the history for you, so East Londoners used to be the most tight-knit community, and this was a threat to the government. When you have a strong working class force, that means, like for the Tories, that these people are going to be stronger than you and overtake you. So what did they do? Haha, let's throw a load of drugs into East London. So these lovely little families' children started becoming drug addicts, stealing from their parents, and then all the doors that used to be open started to close. Okay, so that was the first step. Let's knock down the next generation and make them weak. Let's drug them up so they're too busy, confused and fighting themselves on the streets than to actually go for the government that's doing this. They did the same with social housing, where they sold off all the social housing stock to corrupt councillors who then bought all that stock and then sold it on for a lot more money than they purchased it for. Now, this within itself has created a massive divide, because in East London you have some of the poorest people mixed in with some of the richest, and they're like, oh, darling, my shit doesn't stink. Well, guess what, it does. And things like Cheshire Street and Brick Lane, and I'll go on about Brick Lane because it's somewhere I've been going for so many years, and it's not dangerous. It's not dangerous at 12 o'clock in the afternoon. It's not dangerous at midnight. I used to come home at, like walking home from whatever parties at, coming back on a Sunday, and I'd hit the lane at 4 o'clock in the morning, 5 in the morning, and all the traders would be out. You buy yourself sunglasses, a couple of hats, like, not being funny. You don't need much money when you're in East London. 3 hats for a £5. Come on, like, it's crazy ridiculous. And this fear that's been instilled in people isn't because of Islamic extremists, it's because we are fighting the wrong battle per se. It is not the people, it is not religion, it is not race, because East London, again, very strong working class families. Yes, there has been a huge migration of people from Bangladesh, but that is the way it goes. That is what this government has done to other countries that has caused displacement, and that's why they're here, and they're scared too. They don't know the language, they don't know the culture, and rather than being integrated, they are pigeonholed and labeled, like my last video, and then they take a step back. And that's one thing that the community gardens really taught me, was that actually by opening up our green spaces, by not locking them, it created safer communities. People could get to know each other without it being invasive. Again, you got you got drugs everywhere, but that's because the government did that, not Islamic extremists. Now, one thing I am very upset about is that the bagel shop has closed down due to whatever reasons. This is our heritage. That bagel shop has been there longer than the state of Israel has. And our government sits there and really promotes anti-Semitism and pushes it and pushes it and pushes it, and then doesn't actually look after the Jewish heritage sites, which is disgusting. They're too busy pointing the fingers at everybody else, blaming everybody else, rather than taking that step back and going, oh shit, our predecessors made some serious mistakes and it's up to us. Rather than pigeonhole people, use religion, use race as a means to hurt each other, let's look at it how we can unite each other. Now, again, I love the Parks Department in Tower Hamlets. Everywhere you go, it is green, there's things happening, it's safe, and they do events for kids every single holidays. It is one of the best places to live and work, and I am so tired of reputations being tarnished for what? So you can get one up. It's like schoolyard bullies all the time. Yet, I walk through those streets. It is just magical. People are smiling, all walks of life. Even the drug dealers, I say hi to them and they're like, yay, a woman's like smashed off her head. It is not a dangerous place to be. The only danger is that by increasing the prices of everything, people can't afford to live anymore, and that is what creates danger zones. Because people can't afford things, they start stealing things. And when they start stealing things, that's when the police have to get involved. And this is the other thing for Met Police. What the government is doing is making your job 10 times harder by promoting, I went down and I love going to see all the street art and the graffiti, and again, just people dress the way they want to dress, and it's magical. I would do a video down there, but normally I've got kids or I've got 2 dogs, or it is whatever you want it to be. You could walk down the street in a short skirt, you could go fully dressed, you can be whoever you want to be. And this is what really bothers me, is that the government keeps pushing anti-Semitism, keeps pushing Islamophobia, which is the same thing, because anti-Semitism includes Arabic speakers. It is the Abrahamic religions. So when you're screaming anti-Semitism, it's not Islamophobia. They fall under anti-Semitism. It doesn't belong to Zionists, who are the extremists, because normal Jewish people don't agree with what's going on. Normal Jewish people don't like this aggravation. They're getting attacked on the streets because of what our governments are doing, not because of what they're doing. And this is the serious thing that we need to look at. Stop attacking our local communities. Stop pointing fingers as if, have you ever had a coffee down on Red Church Street? Oh God, it's the most dangerous place around, go to Arnold Circus. Oh, shut the gates. Why don't we just have police everywhere? Because that's the way that this is going. And unless we, the people, the sensible people, say, hey, hold up, we are not going this way. Again, Brick Lane is the forefront of how communities came together. And maybe this is the pivotal point, or the changing point, that we need to say, actually, let's take that step back. Let's look at what's a no-go area, which is what our governments are creating via this consistent hate. And you watch them in the parliament, they're like school kids, only trying to avoid, like my kids, oh, I didn't do that, oh, look at what they're doing over there. Grow up. Seriously, let's look at our cities. Let's stop attacking each other. If we united and stood together, then I do half the job and then the other half gets done. Things get done much quicker than if one person is forever trying to swim against the tide when actually the ship is sinking fast. So I'm going to leave you there. I would like to invite you all to visit Victoria Park, to visit the Ecology Village and my favourite place, which is Cemetery Park, and it is one of our, there is so many heritage sites in Tower Hamlets, and they are all maintained and they are all well looked after. So for anyone out there who wants to point fingers, again, Suella, and all your cronies, because I'm sick and tired of it, it's time to take a step back. Look at your own actions before you, because you are the dangerous ones. You are the no-go zones. You are the ones creating this. So I'm going to leave you there. Please like, share, and get the message out there.